go ahead and call this meeting to order. First, thank you so much to Diane and your students and Mitch for hosting this meeting out west. You know, some of you know, for me, it's like stepping back into the place that was home away from home for 38 years.
We have an IEP meeting later on tomorrow.
Well, right. That's just like what I should do, yeah. The first thing, I need a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
So moved.
Okay, and a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? All right. And with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Diane. Matt, do you wanna start us off, or I'll just turn it over to Diane? to start us?
I will just say something brief that
Okay.
I'm really happy that Diane was willing to do this and that Dawn's here with her. Some of the early work I remember doing at central office, actually, Diane was on the team where we did a STEM Best Grant, and we were able to partner with Dawn and her team and try to do some more innovative concepts, and Diane's one of the teachers that has taken some of that work, and I really believe transformed her already innovative classroom and just keeps getting better. And so I think she's a great example of a better teacher that continues to look for ways to be engaging our kids and not just doing the same thing, repeatedly year after year. So really proud of her for that and her work. And of course, you guys see the nice notes where they're tremendously successful at their competitions that they were just at Sunday, Monday, and I'm sure they'll talk to you a little bit about that. But with that, I'm just excited to welcome her and her team of students here.
Thank you so much, Matt, Board of Education, other guests. Mitch, thank you for being here. It really means a lot to all of us that you came this evening. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to really show you how innovation can change the lives of students. How a change in your mindset as an educator can change the lives of students. And it's doable. It's doable, and this is proof. So sit back, relax, for a little bit, because we're going to have you all engaged with the students in an activity a little later on. So Design Dash. As Molly said, my name is Diane Fickle. I wear a lot of hats in the district, and I'm proud of each and every one of them because they're all student-centered. I've been very loyal to Iowa City. I've been here over 30 years, and I still love getting up and coming to school every day. In fact, my husband can't believe it. Why are you so excited to go be with high school students every day? Gary, you're not in my world. It is the best job ever. Actually, high school students elevate me as a professional and as a teacher, and they bring me joy. Their success and their coachability and their evolving into something special brings me joy as an educator. So again, it's a privilege to have been in the district for over 30 years, and I'm still excited for what the future holds. So some of the things that I'm responsible for besides teaching here at West, as Matt mentioned, I'm the proud advisor of our BPA chapter CTSO here in the district. I also at the BPA level organize all the state officers, which is a cool experience because those officers are from around the state and we all come together to plan every event. So just yesterday, Sunday and Monday, we planned and implemented a leadership conference for 250 young folks. These people all attended, right? So I get to work with people from other districts. We come together and collaborate as a team and plan really great events. I'm also the CEO of a coffee shop you'll hear a little bit about from our infamous manager right here, Mr. Jack. I'm a committee member now and I'm so excited to be on the Center for Innovation Committee to see where this is going to lead Iowa City and how we can evolve to something really special. More special than we already are, but taking a different leap of faith. And I'm so proud to be part of that. And then my friend and colleague here, Ms. Bolas, we have been partners in crime with Biz Innovator, business education, especially entrepreneurship, through the university and Biz Innovator curriculum for a very long time. And I'm part of that curriculum development team with Dawn. Dawn, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Diane, for inviting me to be part of your presentation tonight. Diane is celebrating over 30 years here at the district, and this past summer was my 23rd year at the John Papa John Entrepreneurial Center. So the very first summer that I started on July 17th, and I met Diane, I look back, on August 4th of that year. So we have been connected for 23 years, and when we were looking at building out our Biz Innovator Startup curriculum and doing a revision of that process, the first call I made was to Diane. And we brainstormed, let's put together a Ringer team. Let's put together a solid team of teachers in the field that are running project-based, problem-based learning environments that are full-on, authentic, experiential for students. And Diane and I built that team together and have been working together over the last several years. So I'm proud to lead the Jacobson Institute at the university. It's completely focused on innovation and entrepreneurial thinking and helping young people become successful and be positive contributors to society, no matter what they end up doing.
Alignment to your goals as a Board of Education. I did a little research and refreshed my memory on what exactly our mission statement, belief statement, and learning goals were, and love the portrait of a graduate. So that's what I want to focus on right now. That is current, that is next century, that is career readiness for our students. So what Design Dash and Biz Innovator do for students is provide them with adaptability, communication, critical thinking skills, empathy towards others, helping them become global citizens, and developing the most important thing, a learner's mindset. All in your portrait of a graduate. Thank you for that beautiful piece of work. Now Design Dash. Let's go specifically into the event.
So Design Dash is coming out of our Biz Innovator Startup Entrepreneurial Curriculum. And what we realized coming off of COVID was that students needed an opportunity to get together, actually physically in the same space, meet each other, collaborate in teams, and work on solving problems that they cared about. And from our unique vantage point, we wanted to weave that entrepreneurial lens in. So students come, they participate in a one-day, fast-paced startup simulation. We engage not only students, but educators, as well as community partners in that program. And from 9 a.m. or about 8:30 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they are all in 100%, which you'll hear about a little bit later from straight from the customer about that. So this is a little bit of the growth. And this is really, this is a focus program within the state of Iowa. Our Design Dash is only and exclusively offered for Iowa students. So we started in the spring of 2022 here in Iowa City. The students participating in this will move from the downtown merge at the Economic Development Agency. We're at the public library, we're on the Ped Mall, and we're at the university. So they are truly moving and getting that opportunity to move across their community and within their community throughout the day. We started with 77 students, 8 schools, and 37 community partners. You can see the highlight from last year was that we went from 1 program to 3 programs, and we went outside of our own area. We went and partnered with Grant Wood AEA. They helped us to promote that program in the Cedar Rapids area, and now this year we're partnering with Grant Wood again, we're partnering with Central Rivers AEA in Cedar Falls, Heartland, and Great Prairie, which is out of Ottumwa. So the AEAs are now, I see that ultimately we will be statewide within the next 2 years, bringing students the opportunity to engage authentically throughout the day with students from other communities. This year already, we've held an event in Iowa City and an event in July with Business Horizons in Des Moines, and then this past weekend with Diane and the Fall Leadership Conference for Business Professionals of America. So to date, we've hit 165 new students this school year alone. So this will be wiped away in a nice memory. So this is a little picture of kind of what this pulls together. At the end of last year, these are the list of schools that have sent students. We're, in addition to partnering directly with teachers from across any school in Iowa receives information about Design Dash, they all have the opportunity to sign up and participate. But in addition to that, we're partnering with the intermediary network, with which some of you may be aware of. We have one of the premier intermediary networks here in our Workplace Learning Connection. So students in this community, if they're not coming through a teacher, they can actually come through that Workplace Learning Connection, and they're participating in a one-day job shadow. They are job shadowing being an entrepreneur. And who's the entrepreneur in their job shadow? They are the entrepreneur in their job shadow. All of this, as I said, is built off of our Biz Innovator Startup Curriculum. Each of you received a packet, and this is actually the identical packet that students received the day of the event. We thought that it would be nice for you to see kind of what they received. As Diane mentioned, Diane is on that curriculum development team along with others across Eastern Iowa. A former West teacher, Abby Weipert, is on that committee, as well as Corey Brinkmeyer from Linmar. So you can see that students have a place to write their ideas down. I'm going to take you through this packet here. If you flip that open, one of the key concepts of how entrepreneurship is being taught at both the college, university level, as well as with adults across the country, and I would say globally, is the adoption of the Lean Startup methodology. That is a fundamental tool that's called the Business Model Canvas. That's this tool that you see here. The front has a description, the back has cells that you can write on. Everything starts with a problem and then drives to the middle. Number 2 is your most important box, your value proposition. What is your solution that you're going to bring forward to the marketplace? I thought it would be fun for you guys to see. This is what one of the business model canvases from this past weekend looked like. The students were working on stress and time management. And you can see they're just at the front end of like piecing together. Who do they think their customers are? Teens to mid-30s with busy lives. Okay, they want an on-screen reminder. They want calendar, goals, daily schedules, AI, on-call person. I mean, you can see that right away they are getting to like, oh, we're all like, oh, that sounds pretty good. I might like that. So they're starting to think about what is needed and how to work through that process. The other key feature of Lean Startup is the process of customer discovery, and that is essential also in design thinking. They just call it end user. Rather than calling it a customer, who's your end user? Who's the beneficiary of this product or program that you are implementing? So understanding what that customer needs or that end user needs will help you design a product or value proposition that has a higher likelihood of success, which as we think about kind of what we want from an entrepreneurial startup, we want them to be able to have longevity. And with any kind of solution, whether it's revenue generating or not, it needs to have that kind of a mindset. Also in your packet, you've got students are able to work through kind of their one day, what does the day look like. They see a list of problems and a description of what the pitch looks like. They're using and conducting customer discovery. And then what they're really working toward, you see an example on one side and a blank copy on the other. This is an ad-lib value proposition. So I'll just read the example off. Our app Time Boss helps high school students who want to manage their busy lives, school, sports, social, by decreasing time lost managing the schedule and increasing time on task, unlike the current Google Calendar. So essentially, in one sentence, we understand what they're putting together. Their next follow-up sentence should be data, right? We've talked to this many people. They've told us that they want what we are putting together and how they want those features and benefits to be. Included in that Biz Innovator curriculum, if teachers go through the professional development program, which I think, Diane, you've been through many times over the years, students are able to earn University of Iowa college credit in entrepreneurship. The university has waived the course fee for that curriculum, and in place of the tuition, there's a course fee of $150 for 3 credits in entrepreneurship that transfers across the country. So Diane, I'd like to invite you, just as a teacher using Biz Innovator, to share your own experience.
Sure. 1 word, 2 words, aha moment for students. So they walk into our classroom, and the first thing they said, hey, Ms. Fickle, where's our text? Do we need a textbook? No, don't need a textbook. Ms. Fickle, do we need such as that? No, don't need that. What do we need to be successful? Creativity and the ability to think out of the box. That's how you're going to be successful. Every day we meet in a circle, right over here. There's no phones in my class. Believe it or not, you can have an expectation and I just want to clarify that from our last meeting, right? Can you have an expectation and still create relationships? The answer is yes, we can. We sit in a circle, there's no phones, and we talk. And we talk about entrepreneurship, and we use the business model canvas as our textbook. Right now, we're doing customer relationships. It's amazing how smart kids are if they're given the ability and they're encouraged, and we've built a culture of trust where they're willing to share their opinions. It's amazing every single day. The quiet student sitting in the corner now has a voice because they're valued. And they're forced to talk, and they can't be on their phone. It takes a little time, you know? Oh, we're getting in a circle, Miss Fickle, again? Yes. Now it's, circle? Yes, great. So you change their mindset about what a classroom can look like. Truly, when I ask kids what they think about it, and you'll hear some testimonies from these guys, it's my aha moment in the day. I'm not sitting and getting, I'm doing, and I'm a part of what's going on in the classroom. And so I had to change my mindset. I was a traditional teacher when Molly was here, right? This didn't happen 30 years ago. But boy, I'll never go back to that traditional way of teaching. Now I'm known for flipping the classroom, having project-based, and valuing our students when they walk in the door for the right reasons. So thank you, Dawn, for the opportunity, and I can't wait for you guys to hear some of the stories from the kids who've been in the trenches and have experienced what can happen with the right teacher mindset in our classrooms.
So I mentioned that I've been at the university working with this program for 23 years, and I wanted to kind of show you what we've been able to build. So when I first came to the University of Iowa, we were actually reselling someone else's product. And Diane was one of the initial teachers that when we started rolling the costs over to the schools, she just had a very frank conversation with me and said, it's not good enough, it's not worth the money, we're not gonna spend what this company out of state is asking us to spend. And for me, this light bulb went off, like, oh my gosh, we've done this disservice to our teachers, our base here in Iowa. This is not good enough. And we had a premier program in the Entrepreneurial Center at the University of Iowa. I knew what was happening in those classrooms, so we just started building our own and building from within. Last year, Biz Innovators Startup was named a top 4 entrepreneurial curriculum nationwide, and it's used during last year's school year by teachers in 42 states and 9 countries. We're now rolling out programs in all of Africa, looking at the 18 to 35-year-old range of individuals that have not had the opportunity to have higher education beyond potentially even 8th grade. So looking at this entry-level curriculum that can truly help people start businesses and become effective contributors to their society.
So you might be asking, who gets to go to Design Dash? All 3 of the high schools participate. All teachers are welcome to bring students. Personally, for me, we are allowed per instructor 10 students because it's in such high demand. I could fill a Design Dash with West High kids, but I'm limited to 10 students. So I have to have some criteria on who I'm going to take. So my criteria here at West High is they have to be or have been in my entrepreneurship class, because I know they have an interest in that, or be a Business Professionals of America member. Maybe they haven't quite had time to get into my entrepreneurship class, but I know they will. And this is the spark they need. If they weren't going to take it, they take it after the day. But again, all teachers, whether you're a business teacher, a science teacher, is welcome to attend from any of the 3 area high schools.
We've had both engineering students come, as well as, and I don't know the official program, but Curtis Rogue with the Voc Rehab program that's going on here in the district now brought students this year as well.
So on Curtis's attendees, it's so cool, talk about diversity and inclusiveness. If you guys know Aria Warren, cerebral palsy wheelchair gal, she attended Design Dash and she's also in BPA this year, traveled to Des Moines. She speaks through a computer, and her sister, Unconditional Act of Love, is her parent, is with her by her side. And that is just, she's thriving in Design Dash and in Business Professionals of America, just the sweetest girl. Won Miss Fabulous last summer, Miss Amazing, something. If you haven't met Aria, you should. She's fantastic. Now, our Design Dashers. the reason we're here today, the students. I'd like to introduce you to 6 very special students of mine who I'm passing the baton to at this point. Oh, I'm sorry, you're waiting for my transition. See, I schooled them too well. I said, don't talk until there's a transition. Okay, first up, Hermione, a dear gal that I just met a few months ago. She's new to West and she's taking entrepreneurship, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her story. Hermione.
Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Sickle. I'm Ms. West, this is my first year at West High, and also my first year of being a BPA member, and I've also been to Design Dash once. I came from Beijing, China, and the fact that we weren't allowed to choose classes, we were told which classes we had to attend. So you could imagine my surprise and relief finding that we could actually choose classes here, and there are also business classes we could attend. I settled with entrepreneurship because I was always very intrigued of running a business of my own one day. During entrepreneurship, one of the projects we did was to work as a team and to create what in our minds is the perfect West High student backpack. We did many market research, and we also interviewed students about what they want and what they think is very useful to have in a backpack. And as you can see, there is a little safe, an emergency kit, and also 4 different roller wheels. Like you can just roll around like a luggage if you have like a backache, or if you just don't want to carry it around your shoulders. I think the most important thing I have ever gained in attending Design Dash is that I gained more and more confidence. I was never an extroverted person, and I also am very nervous about speaking in front of people. Yes. But I realized that I couldn't just wait for other people to break the ice with me. I had to step out of my comfort zone and interact with other people. So I said hi, and saying hi really wasn't that hard. And I also made a few friends. I went up to people, I introduced my project, about my business, what it brings to you, what are the benefits, the prize, and we actually won the prize market ready. So I think interacting with people and stepping out of your comfort zone is really important for a social skill, and that is a social skill I never want to lose. Next up is Pat.
Thank you, Hermione. I'm a junior, and this is my 2nd year in BPA, and I have also attended Design Dash 3 times. I had the opportunity this past weekend at the Business Professionals of America Fall Leadership Conference to act as a student mentor and help other students in navigating through Design Dash. I think one of the main things that I've taken away from Design Dash is valuable life skills that I'm able to take into my professional career as I leave high school. This includes innovation, hard work, or the ability to network with others. I think, though, the main skill that I've learned is the ability to adjust and adapt to problems that you encounter. Whether it's realizing that there's an issue in your business model, needing to be open to the ideas of other people in your group, or receiving feedback from your mentors, it's something that I really learned hands-on from an experience like Design Dash, and that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. I think that this is an opportunity that every student in ICCSD should be able to experience. Now over to Bashir.
Thank you, Mackenzie. I'm a junior at Iowa City West High School, and this is my first year in BPA, my 2nd at West. I moved here from Sudan last year. So I've had 2 experiences with Ms. Fickle, once in the entrepreneurship class and 2nd in the Business Professionals of America. But before we get into that, I'm going to ask you guys a question. What do you guys think your job is as a Department of Education? Does anyone want to answer that? Please. Yes.
Sure, we oversee policies that can affect the students and the teachers and the staff.
I agree. So, I think, or at least I hope, that your job is to educate students. And I tell you right now that there is no better way to educate students than taking the entrepreneurship class and Design Dash. They have both been some of the most educational moments of my life. Let's start with Design Dash. I've been to 2 Design Dash sessions this year. First, the Iowa City one on October 2nd, and then on the Fall Leadership Conference that BPA went to this weekend, like this past weekend, right? At the beginning, on October 2nd, I didn't do that great. I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys. I tried something and it didn't work. But I learned a very valuable lesson from Design Dash. I learned to learn. That's one of the biggest things that I've come out of since doing Design Dash. I learned that I can become better regardless of how well I think I did or how unfair I think the judges were. I think I could have done better, and I did. I learned and I learned and I tried, and then the second time through the Fall Leadership Conference, I earned 3 awards because of how hard I tried to learn, and it really helped me through the portrait of a graduate. I really learned the learner's mindset. I think learning to learn was one of the most important things that could have happened to me. But through the entrepreneurship class specifically, I really enjoyed that class because I got to pave my own way. I also had a business. I created a bed. It was called Raspberry. It was a mnemonic. It stood for something. I don't remember it. It was a great business. I really liked the idea. I'm not going to pitch it to you guys right now, but especially you guys were all invested in it, I'm sure. It was a great idea, yeah. Now over to Jack.
Thank you, Bashir. I'm Jack Twait, a junior at Iowa City West High. I am a 2-year BPA member, and as well as being in BPA, I also am the manager of a student-run business here, Pump It Up, which Ms. Bickle briefly mentioned. You may have seen it. It's the big cart when you're walking into this room. And I also have taken the entrepreneurship course, in which I created a vending machine with a special twist, which was a really fun experience, and I really enjoyed that class, getting to be able to take my ideas outside of just my brain, presenting it to others, and getting customer feedback. I also was a participant of Design Dash this October, in which when I first came there, being very excited to come, when I met my team, I was unsure because we all had very different ideas. We all came from all across the state, and we all had different views of what we wanted our business to be and what we wanted the outcome of it to be. And I was unsure if we would be able to combine all these such different ideas to create a good business. But throughout the day, talking to people in Iowa City and different mentors, business owners at Design Dash, we really came together as a team and created a business that I think we were all very passionate about and actually enjoyed. And at the award ceremony, we were all super excited to actually win an award, and it was a really full circle moment for us to come from such a diverse team with such different ideas to, in the end, coming up and winning an award and realizing that people from all across the state and whoever you may be in your team, you can work together to create a project you're all passionate about. And now on to Lucy.
Thank you, Jack. I am a junior at Iowa City West. It's also my 3rd year in BPA this year. And in addition to that, I have attended Design Dash 4 different times, the most recent being this past weekend and serving as a mentor alongside Mackenzie. Now, aside from the obvious, meeting new people, making new friends at Design Dash, it really helped me to be able to speak and think on my feet in both casual and professional settings. And I've been able to apply that to situations just like today, as you can see, no script. But I really think Design Dash is a highly innovative and exciting experience that all students should be able to go to experience, be able to get all the different opportunities that everyone here has described. And I look forward to going to it multiple times a year. So finally, last but not least, Leon.
Thank you, Lucy. Thanks so much for coming out here tonight. We're really happy to have you here. In West, my name's Leon Ahmed. I'm a junior here at West. This will be my 3rd year of BPA. I've attended Design Dash 2 times, and I'm the proud state officer for Iowa BPA. I think everyone really worded it beautifully when we can say that Design Dash is really such a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I mean, it's one thing to sit in a classroom and be presented to in all these different subjects, but it's a whole other thing to take these students out of the classroom and really give them that experience where they can really experience the process of not only just starting their business, but all the motions of it. I mean, I remember as a scared little freshman walking through downtown Iowa City, talking to different citizens about my business product, getting all this different customer discovery. It was a really fun event overall, and it was really enriching. I think I walked out as a completely different person both times that I attended. And it hasn't only helped me just in the business world. I think it's really helped me apply to everything else in my life. So it's not just for business students. I've seen a lot of different diverse students attend, not only wanting to go into business. And I think that's a really important point because the people attending events like Design Dash are our future doctors, our future teachers. So it is events just like this that really help enrich our future. I've also taken entrepreneurship here at West by Ms. Fickle, and I'm proud to say that I've earned the 3 college credits from the U of I, which have been really helpful and useful. Through entrepreneurship, as Jack said it really well, I've been able to learn all these things that I need to be able to start my own business in the future. It's been a really amazing experience being in the business department here at West, and being able to take amazing classes such as entrepreneurship, and being able to attend Design Dash, of course.
Two things before, and you might have some questions for these guys up here, so I'm going to allow you an opportunity to do that before we get into the activity. But 2 things I want to say about these guys. You know, there was a 4-day fall break. I thank you for that. Although I worked 2 out of the 4 and wouldn't have had it any other way. So when the schedule came out and we saw we had a 4-day break, and Gary and I, my husband, were like, let's go to Marco, or let's go to Galena for the 4 days. Oh, wait. It's fall leadership. Oh, never mind. Nobody's going to want to give up their time, their 4-day break. We won't get any students to go to that. Oh, was I wrong? Right? We took 60 students. We were the largest chapter there. Commitment, passion. These kids find their genius zone, and then they live it. And so we took 60 kids. We were the largest chapter there, and they came on their day off. That is a tribute to all of them. And I want to tell you right now, these are 6 reasons why I get up in the morning and come to West High. I am so proud of them and all the students that I have the privilege of touching. So, do you guys have any questions? We do have a little bit more of the presentation, but I thought you might want to ask some specific questions.
Well, I just want to make a comment. You know, just listening to you all talk about this is so, I'm so impressed and feel so much pride in what Iowa City Schools are doing. And I worked here for a long time, and hearing from kids like you is what I really miss the most. It's really so fun to hear what you have to say and what you're doing, and you're a very impressive group of kids. And I thank you for staying after school today to talk to us. Thank you.
Any other questions or, yes, sir?
I'd like to address this because I was really interested in your description of how that you learned how to learn. Yeah. Could you maybe talk a little bit more about how that actually came about?
Right. Yeah, of course. So I learned how to learn through Design Dash and entrepreneurship. Through Design Dash specifically, it was basically pivoting from everything that I thought maybe might have gone wrong and feedback that I've gotten from the judges that were there. You know, maybe some things didn't go that great. I had this mentality of, wow, these guys that are from Linmar or Talmar or different schools, I'm like, I don't know you and we're not really like clicking right now. I'm just gonna do everything on my own. And that did not work. That's all else. So, second time Fall Leadership Conference this weekend, I met some great kids from Monticello, and instead of trying to do everything on my own, we were more of like a team, right? We clicked together, we were like, here's what we're gonna do. Maybe you don't like something, alright, it's fine, we don't have to do everything my way, let's do things your way for this time, let's do things that way. And just overall running a business and like how to, like, what they're looking for specifically are things you learn through experience. It's kind of like a trial and error thing where maybe I failed the first time, but it really helped me get back up on my feet and go again and do better. And through entrepreneurship specifically, it was more like so for me personally, I think I like to learn through more, having more freedom, kind of like a laissez-faire system where I get to like have a say in what I learn kind of. And I think entrepreneurship was the perfect class for that because, you know, there's only one way to teach a kid how to like divide fractions or like multiply, but there's so many different ways to teach a kid how to start a business. You can do so many different things, and I think that Ms. Fickle really enhanced my ability to learn. So overall, through entrepreneurship and the Design Dash, I've learned how to learn.
Thanks very much.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
So here, it's going to be pretty hard for me to put this into words, and I would try not to take too many. But when when a body like us and the community, this is community effort, puts together Portrait of a Graduate, right? We have ideas and we throw things on paper, and so often that stuff becomes a poster, and that's it. Okay. Or we say things like the future, right? But here's the deal. I was thinking, I'm going to quickly ask you guys what you're going to do after you graduate. But it doesn't matter because there's no future. It's just right now, and you guys are it. And so for us to see such an exemplar of the work that's going on, I was like, Miss Fickle, you gave these guys a lot of M&Ms to do something. But of course not. Like, we can all tell this is like genuine lived experience, which guess what? So is life. Like, there is no back of the textbook in life. And it is laissez-faire. You might go to college and you might encounter some of that old school stuff that any of us who know education know it really doesn't work very well. It's just contained in a thing. But then when that's over, you're at it. And so I'm telling you, I was going to say, it's hope for the future. You guys are just inspiring me right now with your example. And so I know you don't know how impactful it is because right now you're too young. But if you guys maintain this, you'll see it. And my hope is for you find a way to spread that. And you guys already are through your involvement in BPA and these other things. And if it's a business idea that you've got, it's a dramatic impact. And I just have a lot of confidence that it will continue to be so. So really, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fickle. And the University of Iowa, there's all these great partnerships that we have with them that are evidence right here for us in such a succinct way. You guys are very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. John, we're going to pivot a little bit, and we're going to go right into our activity, because you know what? That's the fun part.
Yes, that's
right.
perfect.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about what we're doing for the spinning and the activity for all of you? Because I was told by Lucas I had to have an activity, so we've got a really good one for all of you. Okay, we're excited. We're excited to have you step out of your box. It gets a little uncomfortable, right? Okay, Don, what are they going to do?
Well, so one thing we thought would be really fun tonight is, first off, I would like this group to go down so you can understand the seriousness of the problems that they're tackling during the day. Can we go down the list and just quickly say which topic we're tackling? And if you don't remember, just tell me you don't remember.
We were tackling the problem of spending too much money.
Okay.
We were tackling the problem of planning for your future and time management.
The lack of convenience for finding apprenticeships.
We're solving the problem of not being able to make social connections.
We were solving the problem of lack of funding in school clubs.
I believe mine was connecting high school students and opportunity elementary school.
Okay, so all of the problems that we've got going at Design Dash are elevated, serious, teen relevant, things they're concerned about, and honestly, things we're concerned about as teachers, as parents, as business and community members. But what they do at the very front end of Design Dash, we thought would be fun for you all to do. And it's a rapid fire business startup. So you'll notice over here, we have 2 wheels. And what we're going to do is have you guys put yourselves into groups of 3. And at least one of our students, if not 2, will join your group as well, because they're gonna know exactly how this game goes. And actually, so you guys are a group, the 3 of you are a group, the 3 of you are a group, and then Kim and Monica join any group. Yeah, or you guys be a group. You be a ringer team, knock us dead. You got 2 people. Okay.
Kids need to join a team. Go meet a team, guys. Yep. Go meet your team.
And so then, once you get into your team.
Sorry, I was looking at because I think I'm supposed to know.
Absolutely.
Great.
You're going to regret it.
We can join you guys.
Okay.
Oh, you got to? Okay.
Team of 2.
Nope, I didn't know if I had enough people.
I'm going to go over there.
Okay.
Okay.
Shall we get you a chair then?
All right, sure. Have a seat. Thank you. Pull a chair. Get a seat, girl. All right, thank you, Derek. All right, Dawn, what is the next step?
Okay, so the next step is that you're going to send 2 members of your team, not the students, up to the front of the room. So the adults, you come on up and you're gonna spin the wheel. These are my new toys. So are you from the same team? Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna spin the wheel over here. And then you'll spin the wheel over on this side.
Remember your word.
Okay, shopping. Billowy shopping. Those are your words.
Remember your word.
Head back to your team. Are you guys on the same team? Okay. Go ahead. What are we gonna do with that?
Okay.
Refrigerator. Pumped. Pumped refrigerator. Okay. You're on the same team, right?
Spin well, Lucia.
We need a picture of this. Who's got their phone on?
I'm taking pictures.
Okay. Country. Marked. That's interesting. Spin again if you want to. If you want a different one.
No.
You want some?
No.
Right now. Okay.
Playing by the rules.
That's right. Playing by the rules. I'm a
You know
softie.
we did a really bad job.
Yeah, please spin again.
That one will not work. Advertising. Rude. I love it.
Oh, bet you wish you could
On it.
Okay, so what you're going to do, and we've got a slide that we'll have up at the top of our page. You're going to have the next 3 minutes to come up with your startup. And you're going to need to develop a 30-second pitch that will be timed. So 30-second pitch, take your 2 words and create a startup. And it can be as outrageous and fun and goofy as you want it. This is an icebreaker, okay?
It's a silly idea, but being innovative. Try to think out of the box and get you out of your
and it
comfort zone.
we're gonna jump forward.
Yes. I think it's the last.
Here, yeah. you just
There we go. This is what you're
You don't need
finding.
to-
So in the next, let's say, 5 minutes from now, okay, you're gonna share your team words, you're gonna name your startup, and you're gonna describe it. What is it, who's it for, and what problem does it solve? Okay?
All right.
Have fun.
Go, go, go.
Stocks itself. When things are gone, you're get automatically. It fills your order. Come on now. Come on now.
That's a good idea. I think we should take things in the refrigerator and it can be added for you.
Okay. So, refrigerator, Everybody should be, whether you're a college student, a dad or a mom that has a computer and it automatically can scan whatever Hy-Vee uses for its scanner. Right? We have a
map of some sort.
You could do like sync scanning. Yeah, right.
Hey, excuse me, throwing a ringer in as you get in life, right? Just as you're planning your pitch, here's the criteria. Every person in your group will come up. Every person will be part of the pitch. They must say something during that. Okay. Everybody, you're all in. They're in. And
Right? Something like that. I can start it. Yep. Please itself.
still want to do the business, right? Yeah, I can wrap it all up. I can talk about the technology feature and how.
He's the one who's gonna have technology.
Yeah, sounds good.
We're gonna do the thing how it's more like people that are our age understand what we want, right? Right? Also, when they come from school, and they need to have a video game, and they, whatever.
Well, we know our target audience is
That one,
everybody is.
Okay.
I think it'd be cool to have like a tablet touch screen on the front of it.
There's a tech, say that. Or the tech one.
Yeah, and it can have like really fair categories.
Oh, yeah.
And all I know is
Not have to hire anyone.
like
You'd be able to fill in.
Well, the hotels.
Connect with your family.
Yeah.
What are we missing, whatever. You don't want to wait for the
Yeah.
Take it like that. Take it
Tech, whatever you remember.
Target audience.
Target audience.
Features.
I'm saying almost nothing.
No, you are.
Oh, also target audience. Okay. So I'm gonna say.
About our refrigerators are two, right? We're gonna come out with this refrigerator. It is-
1 minute.
It is.
What is it?
Yeah, should we come up with a company name? Maybe we should. Oh no, we have 30 seconds. Let's see. Yeah.
So who wants to?
The fridge is a user experience. That's great.
Well, how about people should
Okay, so that's gonna be our markup. Monthly, that's the mark. Yeah. You are going on the CMS mark for all it's gonna be like worldwide.
Yeah, great.
And then they're leading you to
It's a really great way to interact and think about yourself. Yeah. I don't know, and it really helps like build your confidence in those type of environments. Like, I don't know where you're speaking in front of 100 people. It's really great. I'll play it on my end. Sounds good.
Okay.
Time is up.
Who's ready? Who's volunteering to go first?
Man, this
So I think we should follow the 1 Million Cups. I don't know if any of you have been to 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups is an event that's held at 9 o'clock every Wednesday morning at Merge in Iowa City. And it's grassroots all over the country. And what every group that gets up to give a pitch, we get up and give them a standing ovation. Woo! So impress us.
Can we introduce ourselves? Or?
30 seconds.
That doesn't count as your
Perfect.
What were your words? Tell us your words.
Our words were rude advertising.
Perfect.
So we decided to solve the problem of lack of truth in advertising.
And our business name is Straight Shooters because we just keep it simple.
So let's be clear. Everybody lies to you, right? McDonald's is bad for you. We just tell you we're bad for you.
So we created a fast food chain that is brutally honest, telling you exactly what's in our food.
Thank you.
Nice. Any questions?
Any questions from the crowd? Usually we have a question and answer period. If anyone wants to ask them specifically about anything that they stated, anybody want to ask? Okay, here we go. Matt.
Who's your target audience?
Everyone.
The people that understand going out for fast food is never always a good source of nutrition, but you just want something to make you feel good.
Okay, that is
Good, we get that.
Yes,
If you're brutally honest, how do you know you'll like get customers?
Because that's the thing. We don't lie to you, right? So McDonald's is bad for you. Everybody knows that, but they're not going to tell you they're bad for you. Just because you get a Diet Coke doesn't mean your food is suddenly good. It's still going to be bad for you. It's just that we have transparency. We're like, okay, so the analysis that you made earlier was your fries are in the same exact grease that your hash browns are. I mean, you're
we're
eating
gonna
it
have
anyway.
really great commercials that you will at least want to try our full fat shakes because we will tell you how delicious it is. And come on, who doesn't like fat? Don't be kidding yourself. We all do.
Okay, heading to the next group, this group? Okay, head on to the front. Are you guys up next? Are you wanting to be up next? Yeah, you're next, okay.
Lucy, you're last.
Good job, guys.
Okay, we gotta go.
So our two words are pumped and refrigerator. And we are pumped to sell you our refrigerator because we're selling a smart refrigerator, and our target audience is anyone who doesn't like cleaning and anyone who eats. So that's everyone. And this refrigerator is so good that when you own it, you'll feel privileged, which is why we named our company Fridgelage.
Fridgelage, as she said, everybody eats, and it will scan the items in your refrigerator and send it to Hy-Vee and let you know what you need to order. It cleans itself, and it will take items in your refrigerator and prepare a meal plan for you.
Oh, nice.
Through our touchscreen feature on our refrigerator and its direct connection to our mobile app, shopping has never been easier, and meal planning is a piece of cake. We're going to be able to make your shopping and eating easier on a daily basis, saving you hours of work every single week. Thank you.
Sold. Sold.
If that fails, you just come.
Okay, good. Okay, we gotta do it. Woo! There you go. You got the great
Have you ever wanted to go home from a long, tiring day at work just to lay in your nice, comfy, clean sheets? Well, introducing Stitch Fix.
So our business is going to make your doing laundry so easy. All you need to do is get on our mobile app, and they will get your sheets, and you'll have clean sheets whenever you want them. Be great for lots of situations whenever you need them.
Our target market will be for people who don't have the facility to do laundry, and for hotels and inns.
Like you said, Stitch Fix for sheets. And I think we'll even make your bed for you. Make your bed. All you have to do is get the app.
And the best target in our market are seniors who are fed up with changing their sheets in their beds.
What were your words? What were your words?
Billowy shopping.
Billowy shopping, nice. Okay. Okay, last group. Woo! You got this. Way to go.
So we need just like a few more minutes.
Yeah, we need like 4 minutes.
But we're here after Lucy and I did make the connection that she was just a little kindergartner in the class.
Got
Next to
a lot of distractions.
We're not Lucas
What were your words? What were your words?
Our words were marked and country.
Okay. Ooh, hard.
So let me ask you this question. Have you ever been sitting in your living room just bored with your family awkwardly, right? Have nothing to do, right? Well, we have a problem.
or a solution for you. Let me introduce to you what we call GeoMart.
The problem that we identified is that people are not getting out of their homes and into their communities that have so many enriching opportunities for them. Not just families, but church groups, sororities, clubs and organizations. And so to solve that problem, we designed GeoMart,
which is an app that you can download, and you, depending on which location you're at, and they will show you all different things and different, like a scavenger hunt. So think about geocaching. You're going to go around and you're going to find all different clues to end up in some fun place. So maybe here in Iowa City, we would give different clues, and you might end up at the big wooden nickel, or different clues and end up at the University of Iowa campus, or if you were really adventurous and you were on a trip to Yellowstone, you might end up wrangling cattle. But through this app, it'll show you all different clues to take you on the adventure that you can customize for your group.
That's
Well done.
Well, several of those students talked about how they had won different prizes and that the judges had picked them. And today, Diane, you're all.
Wait, we don't have an award?
You get the participation rating.
Yeah, well, and Design Dash, there's actual judges. We don't even play that role. We just step out from that. And then the students also have money, so they've got investor bucks. I think they're going to be called Dash Cash. We're coming up with that branding now. And they get to invest so that they can choose. I think there was $170,000 invested, and 45 of it went to the internship app that you guys, internship and apprenticeship app connector, which is a very good idea, by the way.
So I'd like to get a little feedback, because after every activity there should be some takeaways, right? Would you be willing to share how you felt in this activity? If you overcame any fears, how your team worked together? I'd like to hear from some of the adults who probably did this for the first time.
So I've never done anything like that before, and I loved it. And it was really fun because whenever we had questions, we could just ask Mackenzie. Like, what else were we supposed to do? So it was really great, and she was so prepared to be able to answer the questions. It was comfortable.
That's awesome.
Mine highlighted my worst personality trait, which is easily distracted. I got into talking about Yellowstone.
Time management, Lucas. You can work on that.
But you guys said, you were like apologetic up here. You actually came up with a really good idea. That's a great idea. I think we would have gotten a prize had there been prizes. Initially, we all three looked at each other and were like, we are not creative. We're going to be horrible. This is not good. Those were horrible words. And then Lucy came and saved us a little bit, and then we were able to kind of all give ideas and ended up with something that everybody contributed.
That is such a great takeaway. Most students, when they come into the entrepreneurship class, say, oh, Mr. I'm not creative. No, creative is not being able to draw on a bulletin board. If you see all of my creativity in this room, it's purchased. But I consider myself a very creative person. And that's what you have to teach students. You all have it. It's got to be tapped into. Right?
Yeah,
So you
these
say
guys
that.
are extremely creative. I mean, I'm impressed that we have students that is this quick thinking on their feet. And I mean, really, I would join any business panel if they wanted money. I don't have money today, but I would invest. Seriously, they're great.
What a compliment.
I was impressed with Lucy, but all the other kids, of how well they are at speaking on their feet, and because we did not have a plan going up there, but like Lucy, you got us off on a, like, if you listen to Lucy, it seemed like we had a plan because of kind of those on their feet thinking skills that you guys are learning in this program, and that's so impressive, and it's going to be so important for the rest of your life.
Similar kind of what Maka said, just not kind of being uncertain and willing, but then the leadership from the students and the ability to sort of improvise, it creates a nice scaffold to follow.
Yeah.
And I found that really easy, like, oh, okay. So not just leaning on them, but they kind of lifted us up, I would say. And I think, what you mentioned, that about the creativity,
Yeah.
it because everybody's so good, I'm sure with all these different skill sets, it seems like it is a mindset.
It is a mindset.
And that's a
Absolutely.
powerful piece.
Absolutely, thanks JD. Chase.
It was fun.
Oh,
And I think
learning
that's
can be fun.
I think that's exactly right. I think it's the big takeaway that with everything else that's going on, to do something that's fun and refreshing in the classroom is something else. It's just great to see the joy that's coming with the learning.
Well, in conclusion, I don't feel I need to go over these bullet points because you guys have all said them. So what we wanted you to get out of today's presentation was what you got. You've already said it. I don't need to repeat it. If I gave you a test, you'd write these things down. So it was, from my perspective, thank you for participating, for inviting us to share a really great program that can change mindsets and change lives and launch people into really great things. And it was just a privilege and a pleasure to be able to share the love of these students for what they're doing. It's a pleasure always to partner with John. What a great partner we have with the University of Iowa right here, already working with us. And I would open up for any questions you might have before we adjourn.
Lucas and I were actually just thinking as we're, rolling out middle schools in the Center for Innovation, just curious with the students who all did an awesome job today, like what classes have you taken that have maybe sparked your interest in taking entrepreneurship or being a part of BPA? Or like how did you first start to get interested in this that we could continue to leverage and make sure that we're offering to get more students involved in these things?
Well, for me, freshman year, I took a class called Futures that Miss H, she's in the room just right over there. And the first thing she said to our class was join BPA. She gave her a spiel that she gives every year at the beginning of her class. And it just like inspired me to join BPA, and then that inspired me to I've taken, I don't even know how many business classes, but more to come as well. I haven't even taken entrepreneurship, but I want to this year, so.
Share, Jack.
My freshman year I wasn't in BPA, which I was very sad about, because I didn't take a business class until third trimester. I took web design also with Miss H, and she was talking about the national trip they were going on to Dallas. And I was excited, we can go on a vacation during school. But, and then sophomore year I joined, and I realized that it's not about the traveling, but it's so much more. And I realized that I love the club for the club, not for the travel. And I've taken now multiple classes with Miss Fickle, and it's just, it was really exciting to join. I'm very glad I joined, and I think it's just a great experience.
For me personally,
Yeah, absolutely.
freshman year I wasn't here. I was in Sudan. So I didn't really have an opportunity like this. So when I came here sophomore year, I sat down with my counselor, Miss Bergman, if you guys know her. She gave me a list of all the classes we had here. And a lot of them sounded interesting, but one thing I did have there was math. I had science, I had English, I had all of those. Those were not new, I already knew. But then I started to see other classes that I didn't know, like entrepreneurship. Like that was never a class I would have been able to take if I stayed in Sudan. So I really decided wow, this is something new, I want to take it. So I think just for a student that is new to the district, new to the US, given opportunities like this, that definitely sparked my interest in this.
Matthew had your hand up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was inspired to join BPA because of positive opinions from countless people, but mostly from Lucy. She's my little BPA buddy. And honestly, it is experiences like BPA and Design Dash and being in the business field is unlike any other. And it's something that I'm gonna carry through to my professional career in my life. And even though I'm interested in STEM and I've always wanted to go into STEM, I know that business is a part of every part of my life. And I'm gonna take that into any field I go into. And I honestly think that it's just a great opportunity that enhances students' leadership and innovation, so.
Yeah, I'd love to add to that. I went into kind of the business department my freshman year. I was like, I'm not doing business at all. I was certain that's not what I wanted to do, but I think through guidance by my mentors, my guidance counselor, of course, teachers around me, especially in like the English departments, not only just at West, but in the ICCSD, that really helped support me into taking that leap into the business department. I also think partnerships with not just within the school, but partnering with younger groups like elementary and middle schools will really help push students so that they can pursue things like Design Dash, maybe even having like a little Design Dash for elementary and middle school kids. I think all of that will really help push students towards the direction of business. And like Max said, business isn't just if you want to go into marketing or entrepreneurship. Business is everywhere within our world. And I think the takeaways that you could take away from events, just like Design Dash and from entrepreneurship and the business department as a whole, are just applicable to anything in life.
The only thing I was going to add was that some of you may know Reagan Bosset, who's the principal at Hills, am I right?
Yes.
So she had worked with us after Diane started our entrepreneurial camps. Reagan took over our entrepreneurial camps that we ran in the summer. And one of our COVID silver linings was that we couldn't run in-person camps. Now we had time to develop a curriculum for upper elementary and middle school students. And Hills Bank sponsors that for all teachers in their Hills Bank service area. So there is a curriculum that introduces entrepreneurship, problem solving, that can be embedded into those classroom environments and become a feeder system into the high school programs. So we just haven't had a lot of time to focus on it.
My observation is that it is a game changer for these students. That I know a lot of people, like I did, went to a small school, and the business classes we took, I mean, I didn't know what they were talking about, and it was really boring. This is the kind of thing that if we had, right, when we were their age, what a difference it would have made to just turn a light on in the part of my brain that didn't have to be turned on until, well, should have been turned on then, but wasn't turned on until later.
You can see in our branding, we don't use the word business or entrepreneurship. It's Biz Innovator, Design Dash. It's about mindset. It's about a way of thinking.
And also, if you would come and visit the business department, we have all ages, all socioeconomics. Our demographic is diverse, very diverse. So we're reaching all students, not just
Well, and I love what I've heard a couple of times that, you know, my wife's an acupuncturist, Maki, you're a lawyer. Both of those things, a big part of that is running the business, right? And you usually don't learn that in the school, and it's like a big chunk of your time. So whatever you go into, these skills are very translatable across the board, and it's and to get inspired. And I hope you just said, like, curriculum is great, but if these guys are ambassadors, and especially to the younger ages, I think that's gonna. If we're this inspired, you know, what is a sixth grader gonna do when they see you guys looking up and saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so exciting," and then that becomes my question as a board member: scalability. You know, what is our capacity to scale this so that we can get more people in it? Because obviously there's competing interests and all kinds of things, and budgets are priorities, but clearly we can see the example of these real life skills that are going to translate to so many things, and we want that for as many students as we'll take advantage.
personal testimony, 6 grandkids, 3 go to Hoover, the other 3 aren't in school yet. The 3 boys at Hoover, when they come to Grandma's house, are we going to do Design Dash? So I'm already doing it with my kindergartner, my 2nd grader, and my 4th grader, and it's a competition, I'll tell you.
I love it.
So, you can do it at any age.
I might just end us where I started a little bit with, you know, JP kind of made the point about curriculum, and thank you to Dawn and her team for bringing us something like that, but it takes the courage of a teacher to really flip their classroom and think about it in a different way, right? And that's not an easy proposition for staff as they think about a total release of control and operating totally different than maybe they've operated for the whole career that they've been trained to do. And so it takes, you know, a risk taker to do that, to try it, to fail, and to keep trying at it, because it didn't just happen like this, right? I mean, there was some mess along the way. I'm sure Diane would tell us about getting there. But it takes that combination of a tool that makes it easy to implement and something to go and do, because it does look something totally different, and then the staff member that's willing to take that risk. And so big thanks again to both of you guys tonight and to the kids.
just bring Starbucks.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.
Yeah.
Thank you.